G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Lee, the Evil Wizard. Welcome. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at one of the newish drum VSTs from Ugritone, part of their Klangmacht series, and this is Melodic Death Metal. So let's check these out. So, full disclaimer, yes, these were sent to me for the purposes of this review, but the guys at Ugritone have not asked to see the video beforehand. They've not no input, what I'm going to say, or anything else. The first time they'll see is when it goes up on YouTube at the same time as you guys. Anyway, let's just get me goggles on. So, I will put the full details up on the screen somewhere. This is Melodic Classic Maple Kit, and it's been boosted for melodic death metal. We like a bit of that around here. All the samples were done by, I'm sorry if I butcher your names. All the samples were done by Bastian Mig, EMIG, and again produced by Charlie Bauerfend, or Fiend, who did the Halloween drums. So you get a 22-inch kick, 4 tones, Ludwig Black Beauty, and a brilliant mains Bison's cymbal set. And if you don't know who Bastian is, there's his lovely little face. As you can see, he's drum teacher for the Frostbite Hawkins, and he's also got his own kit in as well. So let's dive down into Studio One and let's take a look at these. So let's solo the drums out. So yes, it is in contact. I think all the Klangmacht kits are in contact, but you only need contact player. You don't need the full version of contact. Once you bought this, you don't need to spend any more money. Contact player is free. And we get a few different presets. Now for this track, I picked the Dark of the Lord Frost preset. This is the GUI of the VST itself. If you've not seen the Halloween drums video I did, we will do a quick walkthrough. So we'll just start off on the default setting, the Melodic Death Metal one. So when you load it up, this is what it looks like. You just get one knob. So this controls the room mics. So you can have no room mic at all, or hell of a lot of room mic, and it sounds disgusting. Let me just play you. So you can go from just the shells or loads of room sounding really dirty, disgusting and destructive, or anywhere in between. That's just the easy mixer. And then you've got a sort of medium mixer where you've got a little bit more control. You've got more control of the volumes on each piece of kit. You can solo and mute those, and then you can route them out to the different room mics, and then you can also route them out to separate channels in your DAW for doing a little bit of just a little bit of extra processing. So if you just wanted to add some EQ, which is what I've done, and I will show you that in a second. And then you've got the full-on mixer, which you can add some one kick and snare one shots if you wanted to add some kick one shots in there. can add as much of that as you want, and same with the snare. And you've got some reverbing for the snare as well, and then you've got air and density at the bottom, what they're calling the character. And you can route them out as well, and then you can have the density steady or not. And you've got your bleed mics there as well. So you've got cymbals and shells, and both of them can be routed out to separate channels. And same with the near and far mics. And when you're in this view and in the medium view, you can move the near and the far mics individually. But you can still move them with the big knob as well. So you can set them how you want individually, and then you can just adjust to taste. So then at the bottom of the GUI, you've got all different options here as well. So you can have it digital sound, or which is basically everything's done inside a DAW, or the analog, which is gone through a mixing board first. And then you've got your main sound, which we've been listening to, and then you've got alternative. Yeah, there is a difference in them. The alternative one to me is not quite as big and as boomy. It just sounds a little bit less. I'm not saying there is any processing on there, because there is, you can hear that, but it's a bit less processed. If you want to do a bit more processing, you can pop it on the alternative one, and then you can have it drummer's perspective or audience. And then you've got your mapping section there. So that's all your MIDI mapping, and you can load up all these. So you've got all your main ones in there. So you've got all your Ugritone ones, general MIDI, tune track, get good drums. So you've got most of your main ones in there, and you can import one and you can export one, and then you can have default or a custom one. To get shot of that, you just press the cross, and then underneath that, or side of that, should I say, you've got your groove section. There's an example song in there that's done at 160, and all you do is just double click and just press the play button. And then if you want to use that, you just drop and drag it into your session. Here you go. Don't need that, so let's shut to that. And all the MIDI that was used in that track was all the inbuilt MIDI. Now, yeah, I may have just edited it slightly here and there, just brought some of the velocities down a bit, but apart from that, didn't really touch any of the MIDI at all. And same again, all you do is just get shut of that cross. Oh, that's the melodic death metal. This is the Endless Northern Lights. As you can hear and see, there's a lot of room in that one. It's the Icebreaker, a bit less room in this one. And this is King of the North. Same again, a bit less rooms in this one. So, the processing I did on these drums, very tiny amount. All I really did was a bit of EQ here and there. So that's the kick, that's the snare, and all this was just done for personal taste. You don't even really have to do this if you don't want. On the snare I did add a bit of tape saturation in there as well, although I don't think you really need it, but just for personal taste. Toms, that's the one for the cymbals. I basically use the same across all the cymbals, and yeah, as you can see, that's all I've got on there. On the bus, just got a tiny amount of EQ, just taking a bit out of that mid-range and everything out below 35 hertz. After that, got the Monster 4000 compressor on there, so I've got it about roughly 40%. So it's getting a bit of parallel compression. That's easy for you to say. So I'm getting, with these drums being fairly processed, you don't really need all of compression on this. I think I've got 1 to 2 dB. Yeah, as you see, we're getting about 1 dB, so it's not doing a whole lot, but it's just doing a little bit just to glue everything together. Now, this is something I've been experimenting with, especially with MIDI drums, virtual drums, if you will. I got this from Johnny over at Home Studio Trainer, just to add a little bit of reverb, just to fatten the kit up a bit, if you will. So taking the pre-delay off and just giving it a sort of smallish room, bit of dampness, then just mixed it into taste. So without that on, just fattens it up a little bit. Just adding, so it's only a little bit in there, and then all them drums are going off to a drums distortion, which I'm using the Loch Ness. Adds that extra bit of smack to the kit, especially to that snare. Now I'm not using an external reverb. I'm using the inbuilt reverb in the VST itself, and then all that's going off to a drum stem, which I've got a Summon SA console on there just for a bit of console emulation. I have got some EQ in there, but it's doing absolutely nothing. So there you go, folks. That was Melodic death metal drums from Ugritone. What do I think about these things? Do they get the wizard seal of approval? Do they get the finger of doom? Well, for me, oh hell yeah, they get the evil wizard seal of approval. Now, you have heard these in a couple of demos here and there, not just in this one.
This is, I say.
At least it's coming out of that and then not the other end. Maybe later. Yeah, like I say, you've heard these in a couple of different demos here and there. Yeah, the GUI is very different to the original Ugritone drums, but I do like it. I like both. So this gives you a bit more simplistic view. So just twist a few knobs, get it to the sound that you want, and just crack on. And I can see him using this in some full productions here and there if I'm wanting that sound, because I do tend to use different virtual drums in different productions just to change the sound up a bit instead of just using the same drum sound all the time. But yeah, I think this will definitely go into my rotation of drums. And big thanks to the guys at Ugritone for sending this to me. Like I said, they've not seen the video, they've had no input of what I've said. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I will leave a link to the Ugritone website down in the description, so you can go and check these out for yourselves and make your own minds up. And if you want to grab yourself some Evil Wizard merch, there's a link to the merch store down in the description. But that's all from me, folks. I'll look at you in the next one. Right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media, and you can get my music online. And if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.